All right, welcome everybody to CSCI 41, second semester computer science, also known as data structures and algorithms. Sure, why not? So in this class, you are going to go to the next level. This class presumes you've had a semester of C++ already, and we're going to take you from like here to like here, whatever that means. And are you going to be able to code World of Warcraft after this? Probably not. But you're going to be at a much, much stronger place than you were at the end of CSI 40. So we've got a very exciting, brand new designed semester for you guys this year. And I cannot wait to see what you guys think. So the title of CSI 41 this year is Welcome to the Thunderdome. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, it's a Mad Max reference where people go in and fight and things like that. It's not quite that competitive, but the idea is this is sort of a crucible, a place where you work hard and get a lot better. The class is a second semester C++ class. If you are weak on C++, then good news is we are going to review the entirety of C++ this week. So don't worry about that. However, if the review isn't really to teach you all of CSI 40 again, because it's kind of impossible to fit a semester into a class, but it should identify areas where you're like, oh yeah, I'm a little weak on that. And then you need to go and get yourself up to speed. So if like you don't remember what call by reference is or something like that, then the review will be like, oh yeah, there's this thing that I need to know that I don't know. And it's on you guys to get yourself up to the end of CSI 40 level. The Zybooks from last semester from CSI 40, you can extend it for like $10. Brand new for this semester, we're not doing Zybooks. So the Zybooks people wanted $90 for essentially the CSI 40 textbook with a little bit of fluff added to it. And I'm like, I can't really justify you guys spending $90 for nothing, really. And so if you want a textbook, you can buy it. There's a link to it on Canvas. It is not required. There will be no Zybooks assignments. It is worth 0 points, but let me play an Uno reverse. It is really valuable, especially if you need help with CSI 40 topics, because it's essentially the CSI 40 textbook with some extra stuff on data structures, which I'll talk about in a second. So no Zybooks, this is new. I've never not used a textbook really before. And the reason for that is because all the new stuff in the Zybooks is just conceptual. And I covered the conceptual stuff pretty well in this class. So save yourself $90 if you don't need it. If, however, you're like, I'm kind of nervous, I haven't coded in a while. If you have the CSI 40 Zybooks from last semester, extend it and practice those exercises. If you haven't, then yeah, buy the textbook and go through. It's got programs you can do to practice yourself to get yourself up to speed. You really are going to have to work hard in this class. And if you're missing, like if you don't know what a for loop is, you are not going to pass this class. Like I'll just tell you that. Like you need to know what a variable is and an if statement and a for loop and a function. And if you don't, then you've got a brief window of time this week to like practice it and get back up to speed. Okay. So, what's that free alternative? Oh yeah, there is a free alternative as well. So that goes over data structures and things like that as well, conceptually. So my advice is don't spend the $90 unless you actually need the practice, which again, Uno reverse might be some of you. So you know better than me what you need. And so we're going to go over the entirety of C++ this week. You need to you got to get up to at least the end of CSI 40 by the end of this week, or it's going to be rough. Like if you don't know what algebra is at this point, man, it's going to be tough, right? You don't have to have it mastered, but you should be conversant with for loops and functions and variables and things like that. Okay. The basics. This semester is going to focus on the standard library. We're going to go over a lot of, and the TC, yeah. So Mincarelli is our tutor for this class. He is a very hardworking individual. He is a goated TA for you guys, and the tutorial center is open a lot, both in person, both online, and the tutorial center can help you. If you want somebody to sit down with you and be like, I need to learn for loops, they're there for you. Okay, and they're going to have Mick Carly, you want to give your little spiel on the TC right now? You want to cut in?
Yeah, I can. For the TC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, the TC. I posted the hours for the TC in the chat, but after I talk about it, I'll post the link as well as the Zoom, all that stuff. But the Tutorial Center is a free service that we offer to all students on campus. We have subjects covering from English all the way to psychology if you want to get stuff like that. But specifically for this class, we have a lot of CSCI tutors who are willing to help you out. And we are open. We start every day 9 a.m. and then we are also open on Sundays at 2 p.m. That's only on Zoom. We don't come in person. We also have um, a brand new thing we're doing. We started it last semester, but I really wanted to hammer it this semester, which is CSCI Lab, and that is Monday, Friday, and Sunday. Each day is with a different CSCI tutor. Monday with Madeline, Friday with Voss, and you get Sunday with me. And we will sit there and give you tailored one-on-one help. We won't go help out anybody else. That was actually one of the complaints we got, was that we needed more tailored CSI help for you guys. So you guys will not see us go walk around. If you've come into the TC before, we won't walk around in here. You will have 100% focus on you. But that is pretty much it about the TC. Again, it is free if you want to come in person. It's in AC1 137. Just have your student ID ready. And cool thing is if you go to the TC, I believe Kearney said that once we get to the programming assignments, I believe you get extra credit for coming in if you just come in for 2 hours, and you get +1 to your extra credit.
Yep.
And there's currently somebody here who is already taking advantage of that. So
every homework assignment this entire semester, every programming assignment, I should say, if you go into the TC and work with the tutors there for 2 hours, you will get an extra credit point on every homework. And if you're one of those people like, I don't know, maybe their last name's Olson or something that just gets things done really quickly, and you're like, wow, I don't need the help. You can go in and do a code review where you basically like, here's my solution. What do you guys think? And they will look at your code and give you comments on the formatting and the variable names and the approach that you took to it and the choice of data structure you use and the algorithm and things like that. So it's valuable even if you have the homework done. And go and get collect those coins, get those extra credit points. And you said it's free if you come in person, McRelly. Is it also free if you do it online?
yeah, it's free if you come online or in person. We do the online on Zoom, so we start Zoom hours though at 10, but they go all the way to the same time that you see there. So it just starts 1 hour later.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, super nice resource. Your tuition money pays for it, right? So take advantage of it. One of the hardest things that good students have is they don't know how to ask for help. It's really funny. Like sometimes an A-level student will come in from high school, and a B-level student will come in from high school, and the B-level student does better in college because the A-level student has never had to struggle before. They've never had to like have that sensation of like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to solve this. And we'll talk more about that in a second. So we're going to teach you the standard library, and we're going to teach you what's called proper class design. I put air quotes around that because in computer science, there isn't one right way of doing things, although everybody will tell you there is and get into long arguments about, no, this is the right way. No, this is the right way. I personally am agnostic on those sorts of debates. I will show you the proper way of doing things, and then I'll also give you caveats where I would say, nah, you can do it differently and stuff like that. So everybody here should have learned at least at a basic level structs and classes in CSI 40. Go ahead and talk about that on chat right now. Have you guys seen structs and or classes in CSCI 40? And then while you're typing that, I'm going to bring up the topic of data structures. So this is a data structures class. So a data structure is something that holds lots of variables. It's a complicated term. It sounds complicated. A data structure. It's like a skyscraper. It's a structure. A data structure, like an array, is a data structure. A vector is a data structure. Anything that can hold lots of numbers, lots of variables, is a data structure. So if you need to hold on to 500 integers, you can either make 500 variables, which I highly don't recommend. Don't make 500 int A, int B, int C, and D. Don't do that. You need a data structure for it. A data structure is just a way of holding lots of data. Okay. And there are many different data structures, and they're good at different things too. So, for example, a lot of you guys are probably have seen vectors and arrays from CSCI 40. So imagine you've got a vector of characters, and it's got like an email or something in it, and you want to be able to edit that email, right? And you like click in the middle, like here down you're in Outlook or something like that. You click in the middle of the email and you type, and letters appear there. If you're doing that with a vector, there's a problem, right? Which is that there's no space for those letters to go, right? So every time you type a letter, you've got to move all of the letters in the vector have to move to the right one space, and then you can put the one letter in, and then you type the next letter, and then it's got to move all million letters one space to the right, then it puts in the next letter. It's extremely slow. It's extremely inefficient. And so they're data structures called ropes that are designed for like editing text fields and things like that. Are we going to learn those in this class? No, I'm just saying that because there's a lot of data structures out there. The ones we're going to learn are lists, stacks, queues, hash tables, binary trees, tries, maybe not. We sometimes get to those. And heaps, which I should probably put on here instead of tries, because tries we sometimes do, but heaps we usually do. Okay. So a lot of CSCI 41 classes don't teach hash tables. I don't know why. Hash tables and vectors are like the vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream of data structures. I use them for almost everything. Binary trees are like strawberry ice cream. I use them just not as frequently as chocolate and vanilla. So this is what you're going to basically learn by the end of the semester. You're going to learn, when should I use a list? When should I use a stack? When should I use a queue? What are they good at? What are they bad at? That's the main topic. That's what you're going to walk away from this class with a good understanding of. What are they? How do I use them? When do I use them? When are they fast? When are they slow? That kind of stuff. Okay. And we if you had me for 40 last semester, I kind of did a brief overview of all these things, kind of like prepping you guys for CSCI 41. Okay. So you have to be on the class Discord server. If you guys are watching this recording, you must be on Discord. Anything that's on Canvas is going to be on Discord. We have a help section on here. Oops. Is there no? Okay. Yeah, so there's a help zone on Discord. It is called Help Center for CSCI 41. And so 24 hours a day, you can go on there and be like, hey, I don't remember how to make a two-dimensional vector. You guys show me. And there will probably be somebody awake at 3 o'clock in the morning because this is computer science. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's like this. And the rule for it, for posting code, the rule for it is 1 line of code, 2 lines of code. That's fine. Here's how you make a vector. That's fine. I don't want you guys copying and pasting large blocks of code. Like, hey, what's wrong with my homework? And you put your whole homework up there. Because now any other student can plagiarize off you, right? Like, that's not good. So if you're like, hey, can somebody help me with my homework? If you see an experienced student on there with like the alumni tag or the tutor tag, they'll be like, yeah, PM private message me your code and you can send it to them and that's okay. And they can look at it and be like, oh yeah, you got a bug on line 40 there. You need to put a semicolon in there or something. So the Discord is mandatory. Attendance is not taken on Discord, but I do want to really emphasize you guys being here on Discord during class. Last semester during CSCI 40 online section, we had like we had 45 people in the class, and like a dozen were showing up for lecture. And then during lab time is Fridays, we would have like 6 to 8 people actually doing the labs. So this semester, I've upped the points that the lab time is worth, and I'm decreasing the ability for people to make up labs. If you have a valid excuse, message me. We will set up a makeup lab for you with Mincorelli. But I don't want people just be like, well, there's a makeup available. I'm just going to go to that one instead, because procrastination. So procrastination is not a valid excuse for doing a makeup lab anymore. So basically, you come here on Fridays, you code live on Fridays, and you will get a ton of points for it. So it's just free points from heaven. Just you show up, you code live, I watch all of your screens, and those of you that saw me in 40, you'll know that like the voice of God will come in over your shoulder, like, you forgot a semicolon on line 24. And so it's in real life, I pace around the class and like look over people's shoulders and give them advice. This is online. And so what you guys will do instead is stream your screens, and then I have all of them up on my screen at once, and I just kind of click through them and be like, line 30, you need to, and help you guys out. I don't want people skipping on to that. Last semester, somebody's like, I'm embarrassed, having you look at my code. I'm like, I know you don't know how to code. Like, that's why you're in my class. This class is not for people that know how to code already. I can't help you if you're not, if you just sit there quietly and don't say anything. So there's a lot of points here. So if you sit there and don't do anything, you will probably fail the class. And if you show up and you do it, I can't guarantee you'll pass the class, but it's free points. So there's no Zybooks, so that's nice. That's a huge burden off you guys. And there's just free points for lab time. It's designed really to encourage you to, like during the lab time, you're working on your homework assignment. So that's just, you get free help on your homework assignment. Mincorelli is going to be here. I'm going to be here. You're putting in an hour of time on your homework assignments. You're getting that momentum going. So you don't have to start the day before, and then if you get stuck, you're like, oh no, and then you die. It's really important that you come here on Fridays, especially, and participate. So we tweaked the point system to try and really make sure that more than 6 people out of 45 are getting the benefit of lab time. Okay. So Mincorelli's posted some examples on Discord. You can post a line of code. Don't post a block of code. If somebody wants to help you, send it to them, and then they can look it over. But not people in this class, because that's plagiarism. So, but somebody, if you click on somebody's username, it shows you the tags they have. If they have a tutor tag or if they have an alumni tag, especially, you can feel free to send the code. They're not going to write code for you, hopefully, but you can send it to them and they can give you feedback and things like that. Okay. Will this homework assignments be larger to make up for the lack of Zybooks? No, they're going to be about the same. So there should be a less. I'm just trying to turn down the burden on you guys this semester. Please clap. I don't know if you guys might be too young for that. For the Jeb Bush meme. It's a famous. Zybooks is a bane of your existence. Yeah, it's a lot of time, but you have to put in time to get good at computer science. So, it is what it is. All right. So the lecture room will take place here in the CSCI 41 lecture room. If you're watching this online, there's people on the CSCI 41 lecture room right now talking to me right now. And then help. You ask for help in the help center. We have 2 different channels to kind of keep them separate because, I'm like interacting with people in the lecture room, and that's separate from like asking questions. Okay. Live viewing scares my speed, leaves much to be desired. Yeah, don't worry about it. If you type slowly, that's fine, because I'll just be like, all right, the person's typing slowly, then I go to somebody else's screen. Like, it's literally not a big deal. Like I said, I have it looks like one of those like Yeah, it looks like that. That's this is literally me. Should probably copy this and put this into the presentation. Do I have a slide where I should put this? Cool. All right. Neat. Okay. So yeah, online learning can be tough. There's definitely a disconnect from the face-to-face interaction you have with people. Last semester, 80% of the online students cheated at one point or another on the Zybooks, and about 20% on the competency exams. Whereas the in-person cheating rate was much lower, and I think a lot of that has to just do from the disconnect, from the remove. Like I'm over here, like in CSCI 4X headquarters right now with my my coffee and my burrito, and you're wherever you are. We're not seeing each other face to face, and so that's why I think it's really important. You show up, you talk during lecture time. Watching the recordings is okay. It's much better to be in person where you can interact and talk and things like that. And we're going to be doing a lot more group work this semester too, to try and bridge that distance, that disconnect with people. Okay. All right. So this is a flexible class. If you are online, which you are right now, you can come in person. Like a lot of students like asking questions in person more than online. Come in. It's fine. If you are taking Math 5B with Jamie right now, and your class gets out at 12:15, come to the in-person class at 12:20. It's fine. I don't mind. A lot of my online students are actually in person. They just have Math 5B until 12:15, and then they just come in after that. That's fine. You can come to either lecture. You can come to both lectures. You can come to neither lecture. I don't recommend neither, but I do know there are students that like work during this time period, and it's not optimal, but you can do it. All my lectures are recorded. You will lose points though if you skip Fridays. But like we have set it up where you're probably not going to pass the class if you don't do that lab time. Okay. So if you work during the Friday, if you need some accommodation, message me. I'll set you up with Ben Corelli. We'll figure it out. Okay. But I don't want people like, oh, well, if I could just do it later, then I don't like that. Okay. So be here or be square on Fridays. Fridays are the important days. I mean, every day is important, but you have to participate on Fridays, right? You're not graded on your participation right now. 5 days till 12:25. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. And some people do better in person, or some people do better online. Whichever one you want, it's fine by me. Okay. So the main thing you want to look out for is getting stuck. Okay. So a lot of good students, like I said, have never had that experience of being stuck before. Like for me, like the moment that stuck out to me, was when I was in a PhD class, and I had no idea what was going on. Like I was just like, this guy's talking, I don't understand anything, And so I like had a friend of mine tutor me, and even when he was like simplifying it for me, I have like no idea what's going on. It's a disconcerting feeling. Like especially if you're a good student, it's a disconcerting feeling to like not understand. Like you actually have to start working hard, and like reading textbooks and like it's a weird feeling, especially if you're used to just getting straight A's and things like that. You're probably going to get stuck at some point during this class where you're trying to code something you have no idea what to do. Okay, so options: my office hours, option; Discord help center, option; TC Mincarelli, he's the goat, I'm telling you. We have other tutors in the tutorial center as well. Voss and Madeline are both running those CSCI labs that Mincarelli was talking about. They're both excellent computer science students, and then there's others in there as well. Also, you can ask for help during class, ask for help during lab time, ask questions during lecture hours. You have a huge amount of support available for you. I don't want anybody dropping out of this class because they're like, oh, I don't understand. Like there's so much resources that the college is providing for, and the college is spending money on this, right? The college wants you guys to succeed. I want you guys to succeed. Okay, I want all of you guys to pass. Last a year ago spring, in my CSCI 45 class, which is the final, fourth semester computer science, every single person passed. Every person passed. It's not grade inflation. It's not like I'm just like, here you go, pass, because I fail people when they don't show up. Like, when people don't do the work, like they fail. Like every person passed. They all did the work. They all showed up. They all passed the final. Like legitimately, like I was not going easy on them. All of them passed, and that's what I want to see from you guys. Okay, got to work. You got to grind. You got to stay on that grind. Don't like just play that point game like students sometimes play. We're like, oh, like if I don't do this homework, like it's only 1% of my and people will sit there and like punch in a 0 on Canvas, be like, all right, I'll skip this one. Brother, let me tell you, this class is extremely important. How many people here are computer science majors? If you're not a computer science major, maybe it doesn't matter. Let me see show of hands on chat. How many people here are computer science majors? Will the lectures be the full 2 hours? You wanted the working during the day people? Sometimes. Sometimes they do lab time during lectures as well. Like we're going to get you on the server today and start doing coding, so we're probably not going to go the full 2 hours today. Nah. Okay. So what do we got here? 80%. This is one class you don't want to skip. Yeah. Let me tell you, you don't want to skip even a single homework assignment in this class. Like a lot of students are like, well, I got physics, I got math. If you're a computer science major, trust me, data structures is a crucial, important, like job interview questions, like when you apply at Microsoft, are almost all from CSCI 41 and CSCI 26 the next semester. These two classes make up the vast majority of questions on job interviews, and it's incredibly useful. Like this, like if you come out of this class like not knowing what a hash table is or something, like you are going to be like permanently like unable to do a lot of tasks in computer science until maybe you learn it on your own or something like that. Like this class is extremely important to your education. I don't teach pointless things. I teach things that I use. I've worked professionally as a professional programmer for 30 years. Okay, I know what's useful. I know what's not useful. The things that are not useful, we'll have like this much lecture on. Be like, here's this thing. It's not useful. Here's this thing. It's not useful. Let's move on. Okay, I don't waste your time. Okay? I give you like the kinds of things we do are like job interview questions and like things I've actually used in my professional career. I'll tell you guys about that. Okay. So it's really important you guys always check the modules section. Everything we do is going to be on modules, every recorded lecture, all the quizzes, all the homework assignments, everything's going to be in the modules section on Canvas. I don't really use announcements unless there's something like, oh, class is canceled or something like that. That's when I use announcements. Oh, by the way, I'm sick or something. Like I'll use an announcement for that. By and large, everything is going to be in modules. So check that constantly. Every day, you're going to be required to attend the lecture or watch it if you're watching a recording. Participate in the lecture. Trust me, when you have that personal connection, everything is just a lot more real. And I feel like there's a big motivation gap when people just kind of like sit at home and watch recordings later. You can do it. I've had lots of students succeed doing that. I just think it's better to like have that human connection. But then again, I'm weird for a computer science major, so what do I know? Like I like making eye contact with people. Handshake. I think really in the 12 o'clock section, like we went up, we shook hands and made eye contact with each other and had people shake hands, make eye contact. And hardest thing in computer science. Making friends. So, Mintats. And then there's going to be a quiz every day. So you'll have a quiz posted today. And that counts as your attendance. So taking the quiz counts as your attendance. If you miss 6 quizzes, you're dropped from the class. If you miss the quiz today, you're dropped from the class. Make sure you do it. Now, for those of you that are here in person, I've noted your attendance. That's fine. I normally don't take attendance. The quiz is your attendance by and large. I'm doing something new this semester. I'm allowing quizzes to be taken after the deadline with a point penalty. Okay, because a lot of students like, oh shoot, I forgot the quiz today, and then they get a 0 and they're sad. So now I'm allowing you to take it late, but it's going to knock you down in the points. So take it on time. But at least it's not as harsh a penalty as it was before. Okay. So that's new also. New this semester, no Zybooks, and quizzes are a lot nicer. So every week you're going to be given one programming assignment or a benchmarking assignment. And so that's something new that we're also doing this semester, which I'll talk about in a second. And then there's going to be a competency exam. Competency exams are kind of like midterms. Yeah, there we go. There's the new slide they just added. It's literally just have this 2D array of things, and I'm like, let's click on this one. Let's see what they're doing. Goes to the next slide. What are they doing? What's going on over there? And then you'll just hear my voice come in. Like, make sure you forward declare the vector. Okay. So your goals are to finish learning the basics of computer science. In CSCI 40, you learned for loops and variables and functions and if statements and classes and things like that. This is going to sort of bookend that. So 2 semesters of computer science, and you know the basics of computer science. That's it. Like a lot of people think computer science is 4 years of learning to decode. Nope. This is it. This class is it. CSCI 40, CSCI 41, first semester, second semester. That's it. You know how to code now. After that, professors don't teach you how to code. They assume you know. Now they'll teach you some things like oh, there's this library that you've never used before, but they assume you know how to like hashtag include something. Like they're not gonna teach you what a variable is again. They assume you know at this point. So we're gonna finish that and get you guys good at that, at the basics. We're going to be doing real world assignments. We're going to be doing job interview questions. A lot of the homework assignments are based on job interview questions. We're going to prepare you for upper division computer science. Minkrelli here is just took junior level data structures, and I think we go like halfway into like what would you say that's reasonable, Minkrelli? Like as far as like how far into it we go for junior level?
Junior level, you go into like week 12.
Out of
where
16?
The last 4 weeks are out of 16, yeah. And the CSCI 26 is covered in 4 weeks, yeah.
CSCI, what do you mean by CSCI 26 is covered in 4 weeks?
Like Dijkstra's, any algorithms that you go over, such like that.
Oh, you guys do that also in junior level?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. It's a junior level data structures and algorithms. It's not just
data structures.
Data structures.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. So you guys are going to be like prepped up to like the junior level after taking this class. Because I honestly think everybody needs to know hash tables. Like, sorry, I'm not going to like most colleges teach it at junior, like you at the junior level. And I'm just like, no, they're too useful. Teach it to freshmen. We're going to be using GitHub a lot this semester. So we're really going to go hard on GitHub this semester. We're going to be using something called GitHub Classroom for the benchmarking assignment. And Git is sort of the industry standard version control software code control system, however you want to put it, revision control system. And you're going to be working in groups on your benchmarking assignment. And you're going to be collaborating with people using GitHub, okay, which is industry standard. Okay. Most places like your resume will have like your GitHub link on it. Like here are the projects I've worked on, and people will like the people interviewing you will like pull up your GitHub page and like look at the stuff you've done and stuff like that. Like it's industry standard, and we've used it before in previous classes, but we just kind of like touch on it a little bit. Like here's how you use it. Here's how you can work, and you just use it to share code with your partner and stuff like that. It's kind of minimal. We're going to be going a lot harder this semester because I think it's just too important to neglect. So we're going to be getting you guys good at Git. Yeah. Get good at Git. Okay. So we're gonna power you guys up. Like this is you're gonna feel like your power level is 6 right now. And after you finish this class, your power level is gonna be like 20. Okay, it's not gonna be over 9,000 yet. Like, but you're gonna be substantially you're gonna be leveled up quite a bit after taking this class. But again, never skip a homework assignment. Never like play that game where you're just gonna like shave points here and there. Like, okay, if I don't do the lab, like don't do that. Like everything we do is critical. Everything we do is important. And if you're a computer science major, like this class is like the most important one. Okay. All right. So if you work hard, you're going to succeed. I've never had a student with like good work study habits like fail. Like maybe I have. I don't know. But I can't remember any off the top of my head where they like, start the homework on time. They show up to every class. They do every homework. Like I've never seen a student like that fail. You are going to get stuck and struggle. And like I said, a lot of students just don't know how to deal with failure. They don't know how to deal with that feeling of like, I don't understand it. I'm stuck. I don't know. But here's the thing. If you struggle with something and you succeed, you remember it. Okay. It's a lot better than just somebody handing you the code, right? Like ChatGPT, solve it for me. Turn it in. You've learned nothing, right? You need to struggle. You need to sweat, you need to work on it a little bit. And a small amount of stress is actually good for you. And you'll actually retain the material a lot better. You've really turned it over in your head a lot. When you struggle and succeed, you learn. Okay. But the trouble, the risk is you get stuck and you don't know how to get unstuck. Okay. So here's good struggle. Okay. Person's working, they got their ciabatta bread artfully arranged for the stock photographer. Because nobody would set up their bread that way. Look at it. Like look at their hand. Like she's gonna reach for that bread and then it's gonna fall. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. And then she has this like giant book right here, which is gonna like kill somebody if it falls over. Yeah. So she's doing good, right? I know, right? Like who eats just like ciabatta, right? Like just like she doesn't have any butter or anything. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, and then here we have frustration. I just don't know what to do. It's probably because the books are smaller. Like this one's got like a 9,000 page book, and it's clearly the difference here. Here's the person's working hard. The professor's like giving a lecture on it looks like particle physics or something like that. Working hard, and then here we have a dog who's just like, I have no idea what's happening. You guys understand? I want you to be working. I want you to be like in the zone, like making progress, things like that. If you ever get stuck, if you ever feel like the dog, bagel's greater than ciabatta. Yeah. Okay. How is that appropriate studying there aren't 3 cans of Monster on the desk? Yeah, this should just be a stack of monsters, I think. Yeah, if you ever feel like the dog, ask for help. Okay. So go to the tutorial center, go to my office hours. There's also a last chance program. So if you ever fail to do a homework assignment one time during the semester, you can turn it in a week late. You have to go into the tutorial center and do a code review, and they will give you feedback on your code. And then they message me and say, hey, so and so came into the tutorial center, and then I'll give you the points for it. So, like I said, there's a lot of mercy in this class. Like it's a hardcore class. Like you're going to work hard, but no iBooks, 3 points from the lab time. There's a last chance. There's a ton of support. Like everything's there. We're all rooting. We're all rooting for you. We all want you to succeed. We all want you to get an A in this class. Okay. So, competency exams, same philosophy, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally the dog. So this class doesn't have midterms. Okay, so same thing. Like we want you to succeed. I want you to come out if you're knowing the material. And so rather than giving you a test, and you're like, oh, I failed, drop. Instead, what we do is every time there's a topic we finish with, like we studied linked lists or something, you get a midterm. It's not a midterm, it's a competency exam. 5 questions. If you get 4 out of 5 points on the competency exam, you pass. And I round you up to 100%. So if you got a 4, I round you up to a 5. So it's, again, mercy. Yeah. But if you fail it, you can take it again. Different test, but you can take it again. So there's a take 1, And then about a week later, there'll be a take 2. Then if you fail that one, there's a take 3. But to do the take 3, you have to go to the tutorial center, because at that point, it's like, all right, you probably don't know linked lists very well if you failed it twice. So you have to go into the tutorial center, and they will sit there and go over linked lists with you again. And then they will give you the password, and then you can take the take 3. You've taken it 3 times at that point, and you pass it 100%. Okay. Once you pass it, don't take any of the other ones. And this goes for the good students. Okay. If you guys pass take 1, don't take take 2. I have to grade it. You're done. You're done. Like, don't take it again. Like, I have some students take all 4 takes, and I'm like, you passed it already. Stop. Like, I have to read through your code and like score it and stuff like that. Like, don't. You're good. You're good. Like, they see it on Canvas, right? Like, Canvas is like, take 2 is available, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to take this. No. If you've passed take 1, you don't have to do take 2. Okay. So, and then if you fail take 3, then you have to go back into the tutorial center and get a lecture again on, because again, the whole idea here is that you walk away from this class knowing like hash tables and knowing binary trees and knowing linked lists. Like, we want you to learn. We're not here to fail you. We're here to take all this material and jam it into your head, right? Like, we got the textbook, just like into the brain, like this. You know, we want all of you walking out of here with a good, solid understanding of C++ coding and data structures. Okay. That's going to come to the TC is not punitive. We want you to understand the material. Yeah. Yeah. The whole point is you come out of here knowing it. Okay. So here's something new for this semester. Okay. And this is called the benchmarking project. It's the first time we've done this. It's going to be using GitHub Classroom. It's a new thing. So who knows how it'll go. We'll see. But I'm excited for it. This is based on Mincarelli's experience. Mincarelli, okay, so benchmarking, before I cut over to Mincarelli, benchmarking means timing your code. How long does it take to run? So for example, in my professional career, people will make guesses about how fast a code will be. Like, let's say you've got a simple example. You got an array of integers. You got a vector of integers, and you want to sort it. And you've got different options for sorting. You've got quick sort, you got heap sort, you got merge sort, you got selection sort, you got bubble sort, you got BOGO sort. And people will have intuitions about which one will be faster for like 1 million integers or 1 billion integers or whatever. But what experienced coders always say at the end of the day is benchmark it. Run the test. See which one's faster. Like, you might think quick sort's going to be faster because it's called quick sort. It's in the name. It's got to be quick. It's called quick sort. Yeah. Makes sense to me, you know, but you don't know. Okay, you don't know, because every computer is different. Computers are too complicated to really be able to really know which approach is oftentimes fastest. And so you need to get into this habit of timing your code. Have you guys ever seen like a coach's stopwatch, like you're running track or something, or you do swim, right? And they start the timer, and then the guy runs. They go around the lap, and all right, 55 seconds. You know, that's what you do with your code. That's benchmarking. Okay, so you're gonna sort 1 million integers using selection sort. You're like, okay, that took 20 seconds. You do it again with quick sort. That took 1 second, right? And then you see which one is fastest. And so we're going to be doing these throughout the semester. I want you guys to get into the habit of being able to benchmark your code and see which one's fastest, because there's different alternatives. And this is something that, like I said, professional coders do this all the time. They don't know which one's fastest. Like, they can reason about it sometimes, but to really know, they just say time it, run, time the code, see how long it takes. And so this is gonna teach you that mentality. Okay. And so, for example, your first one, which you will be given, I think, on Friday, if everything works out right, you're gonna write a vector class yourself. You're going to compare the speed of that against the speed of the vector class in the standard library. You're going to compare that against a vector class made by ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, by the way, is cheating unless we explicitly allow it. Okay, and then see which one's fastest, and see if the ChatGPT code is correct, because it makes mistakes. Okay. And one of the things you guys have to know is ChatGPT does have errors in it. And you have to have the skill to detect if there's an error in the ChatGPT code. Imagine you're working for a company making defibrillators. Somebody has a heart attack. You just ChatGPT some code and stuff it in there, and it seems to work. And then it doesn't. Somebody dies, right? You have to have the skills to double check ChatGPT and make sure that it is correct and to be able to test it and things like that. So we're going to start incorporating more generative AI technology into the class. But if you use it outside of the constraints that we place on you, it's cheating, and you will get a free trip to the dean's office. Okay, I'm not going to be screwing around with this semester. Every single incident of using ChatGPT outside of the constrained bounds will result in a visit to the dean. Okay. We're going to give you permission to use it. It's okay to use it for help explaining a concept, right? It's like if you, there's no guarantee ChatGPT is right, yeah. So, but it's actually pretty good as a tutor. Like, explain to me what a linked list is. A linked list is a fundamental data structure in computer science used for storing and organizing data. Like, it'll actually explain things to you and the differences and things like that. And it's pretty good at it. Like, can you make this simpler? Explain it to me like I'm 5. All right, imagine you have a bunch of toy cars. You want to line them up as a rope tied to the next car. You can hold the first car and easily find the second one by following the rope. Each car knows where the next one is, holding hands in a line. See? There you go. If you want to add a new car, you just tie its rope to the last car in line. If you want to remove a car, you untie its rope and connect the rope. Yeah. So it's actually pretty good at being a tutor. 24/7, judgment-free. It can explain concepts to you, and that's fine. Like you said, no copy code unless told to. Yeah. And that goes for like Help Center. That goes for ChatGPT. Never Control-C, Control-V, a block of code. That's cheating. Okay? Everything has to go through your brain. We're training your brain. It's like lifting weights. Have you ever seen somebody lift weights for somebody else? Like, I want to get strong. So, Bean, could you go to the gym and bench press for me? I want to get strong. So, I will pay you $20 to get me strong by lifting weights for me at the gym. Right? Now, my wife does that. She has me walk her watch. She has a step counter. And so she'll come in and slap a watch on me, and then I go walk around the neighborhood for her. And I don't quite understand that. But yeah, the goal is to train your brain, like lifting weights. Okay. So, yeah. And so for the benchmarking project, to answer your question, are we going to have more group projects? Yes. All of the benchmarking projects will be group projects. And for the normal programming assignments, we're going to be having some open-ended group projects as well. Now we're going to be doing something new-ish this semester, because how many people here, show of hands on chat, have heard of a freeloader? A freeloader. Like you have a group of 3 people, and like 2 people or maybe 1 person does all the work, and then the third person gets credit for it. How many people have seen this or heard of this concept? Experienced it? Messick. Yep. Yeah. So, because we're going to be doing a lot of group work, we don't want people passing the class if they don't do any work. But at the same time, it's kind of like a lot of students feel bad, like flunking their partner, like, hey, professor, this guy didn't really do anything. Some have no problem with that, by the way. They come and be like, yeah, this person did nothing. Could you fail them? But I will tell you right now, all members of a group are equally responsible for the group's effort. Okay? So if one person did nothing, they still get full credit. It is completely unfair. But we're going to have a tool called RAT, which Mincarelli is writing. And so at the end of every group assignment, you will report what percentage of work each person in your group did. And they're not going to be downgraded for it. They're not going to get a 0, even if they did nothing. But this is what I've done before, and it works really well. Have you guys ever seen like an elimination bracket in sports? Like one of these things? Yeah. So what happens is if one person doesn't contribute to a group, they do nothing, then they get put into the bracket down here. And then two people who did nothing on the previous assignment are partnered with each other the next week. And then let's say this guy does all the work and this guy doesn't. Then the winner goes up here and the loser goes down another bracket. And what happened last year, maybe it was 2 years ago when we did this, we ended up sort of sorting out the people who actually did work from the people who freeloaded. And then of the freeloaders, we found the people who would do work only if nobody else was doing work. And they went into a group with each other. And the students who did work went into groups with each other. And then everybody else was put into a single group. We had a group of 13 students that were all freeloaders. 13 people in a group. And all they had to do was turn in one code. You know, like one person in the group. Only one person in the group had to do the code. And none of them did. You know, they're like, hey, is anybody working on this right now? You know, nobody did it. And so all 13 students in the group got a 0, and it was perfect. It worked out great. So it's not competitive ranked. You know, it's not like you're getting an ELO score or something like that. It's simply, it's not fair to students when you're partnered with somebody who does nothing. Like, it's a lot easier to do a group project when you're partnered with somebody who works, you know, and does their share. Like, it's, you know, and so it just, like I said, they don't get a 0 on the current assignment. We're not punishing them. Like, you're not, like, if you say this person did no work, they're not going to get a 0. Every person in the group is equally responsible for the group's work. Okay. But we're going to be doing a lot of group projects, and so it's going to sort of go like this, right? And so we'll see how that goes. You guys are going to have to be honest about it, of course. But I mean, think about it. Like, if you had a partner who did nothing, would you want to be partnered with him again? Think about that. Right. So, there's something else I wanted to say about that. I forget now. Okay. So, yeah, and they're going to be on GitHub and things like that. That's some other point. Whatever. We gotta fix the glitch. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so yeah, for the benchmarking project, like, we're going to be doing these over and over again. Oh, they're going to be randomized. That's the other thing. So you guys don't get to pick your partners. The groups will be randomly assigned every week. And the reason for that is because in real life, you don't get to pick your team a lot of times, right? You get hired by Microsoft, they put you on a team, and it's like, hey, you got to learn to work with people. And that's the hardest thing in computer science is social skills, right? The hardest thing for a computer science person is eye contact, showering, hygiene, shaking hands, good interpersonal relations, things like that. That's far harder than any of this technical stuff, okay? And so we're going to be randomly putting you into groups so you get that experience of real life of having to work with people that aren't necessarily your friend. You know, like Lamar and being her friends. You know, sorry, you guys are going to be on different groups. And you're going to be, I mean, maybe, you could be randomly put on the same group. Who knows? But it's going to be randomly assigning people different groups every week. And then you're going to be rating your teammates. And then that's going to be used to control the random distribution in future weeks. And if you think this changes, like after college, I got put on a team with a Caltech professor. And all we had to do was write questions for a textbook. And these questions were like if statements, you know, so it was like 10 questions involving if statements, like not hard. Like, it's the kind of thing I spit out like in my sleep, you know, and this guy did no work. I was partnered with a guy that did nothing. He's a Caltech PhD professor. He did nothing, you know, the whole time. And so I had to do his work for him. You know, I had to do all my work and I had to do his work. And so if you think that, like, you know, this goes away in the real world, you know, it's a problem. It's a persistent problem, you know. And so you're going to get real life experience. And you're going to be using GitHub and real life tools to collaborate with people and things like that as well. Okay. So to those who are about to die, We salute you. We who are about to die, sorry. We who are about to die, we salute you to the Emperor. Overall grade is going to be a fifth of quizzes and labs. The labs are 10 points each. The quiz is around 3 points each. So that's why I said, like, these labs are going to be a lot of free points handed down to you if you do it. If you show up on Fridays and you work and you get started on your homework and things like that, it's 3 points. Programming assignments are only 20%. Don't skip them. That's, how you're going to learn. And the benchmarking project is also, you can consider that homework also. So all told, homework's going to be about 40% of your grade. Competency exams are like midterms, but very nice and forgiving and things like that. That's 20%. And then at the end of the semester, we're going to have a final. And the final doesn't have retakes. It's hard-nosed. The reason why we're doing that is because ChatGPT is a thing now. And so for the in-person class, we have to bring them in, put them in a room, observe them, make sure that they didn't somehow sneak through the whole class via cheating. It's a way of doing a little bit of accountability at the end of the semester. And for you guys online, there's anti-ChatGPT questions on the test that reveal the use of ChatGPT. And if you cheat on the final, you get a 0 on it, and you're probably going to fail the class. So basically, that's our breakdown for the points. Any questions about this? Fifth. It will catch up to you eventually, yeah. Mm-hmm. Looks good. All right. So let's get going. So let's get you guys on the server. Does anyone need to add, for one thing? If you need to add, message me on Discord right now, your last name and your student ID with a leading 0 if there was one. In fact, let's change that to a 0 here. Like that? Okay. Yeah, with the leading 0 in there. So if you need to add, send me your last name and send me your student ID. I'll get you set up on the server. Everybody else, you're going to go on to Putty. There's a good chance we're actually going to move servers in a week or two. So don't get too situated on this. Hazelton is here. He's in fact, Hazelton, you might there's a problem. This. So I don't know, like my installation of NVim is now broken. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I haven't changed my config file at all. But for you guys, NVim's working fine. It somehow broke existing accounts in Vim. We'll do that. So what you guys are going to do is you are going to connect to this on Putty. So let me pull up Putty again. So you're going to launch Putty. You're going to connect to csci4x.com. Port 22 is the default. And then when you connect, you are going to type in your username and password. Your username and password is as such. It's your last name _ student ID. If you've got a hyphen in your name, if you've got like an apostrophe or something like that, message me and I'll tell you what your username is, because Linux doesn't allow special characters in usernames. So, but try your last name _ student ID. That's also your password. So when you log in, you'll need to type in your current password, then a new password, current password, new password, new password. Then it logs you off. When you reconnect, you're in. Okay. And then the first time, let's see, Olson. Yeah. So I'm taking over Olson's account just to show you guys what it looks like. So the first time you come into Putty here, you're gonna we'll go over Linux a little bit. If you want to edit a file in Unix, you type in vim, and then I've given you a little demo file. It's got hello world in it called main.cc. But this is important. So the very first time you run vim, it's actually running something called neovim or nvim under the hood. The very first time you run it, it's going to pop up an installation screen. So it's going to sit there and it's going to download all of this data, and it's going to run for a while. Just wait. The very first time you run Vim, just wait, and you're going to see things down here like it's installed, it's installed, it's installed. All right, seems good. Shift CZ, quit out of it, come back in. Everything seems to be working. And so if you make a typo, I'm gonna get an error. No. We're working here. No. Telesense, LSP, come back to me. There we go. Okay. So if you make an error, it'll tell you immediately. This is the second semester we've had this installed on the system, and it helps. It helps a lot. Space CA autofix, kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, so Olsen, you can't log in. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a tough semester for you. You don't have access to your laptop right now. Yeah, you don't have to do this right now. But everybody, please try to get logged in on the server right now. And no, yes, worries. Here, let me mail you your password. 123. Okay, and then once you log in, you can change your password by typing password if you want, Luke. Okay. Oops, I just logged out. Anyway, so let's see here. My name is Weird. Can you help me with mine? Yeah. So I'm going to pause the stream right now, and I'm going to help people get their account set up and added and things like that. I'll resume it once everybody's on the server. All right. So it looks like everybody's successfully logged in on the server. If you're at home watching this and you've got like a hyphen or something in your name, just message me on Discord and I'll sort you out. So we're going to go over a CSCI 40 review next class. What I want you guys to do now is you'll see on the server there's a directory called 99 bottles. And so the basic Unix commands, for those of you that have not used Unix before, I can go over that really fast. The first thing you need to know is ls. That's an L, not a 1. Okay, so ls, you type that and it shows you, it lists, ls is list, it lists all of the files and folders in your current directory. Everything with a slash is a directory. That is a text file. You can change directories by using cd. So you can cd into your snap directory if you're curious what's in there. Thanos snap, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. No, not at all. Okay. And you can kind of browse around like that. If you ever want to, this shows you which directory you're in, by the way. If you ever want to change directories back to your home, cd by itself puts you back in your home directory. Cd up goes into the directory where everybody's accounts are right now. Like cd Brereton or something like that. Cd Carkey. And you'll see if you try going to your students, fellow students directories, it is permission denied. Let's try going to Olsen's directory. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So let's look at his homework here. There we go. Can we edit Olsen's homework? No, it's a read-only file. So, yeah, I have to mess with the permissions on this. By default, new accounts are being made with world-readable permissions on them, which is not good. So I need to modify my script to make new accounts and not have it be plagiarism city. Okay, so cd back to my home directory. Okay, so ls shows you the files and folders. Cd changes directories. Cd up is up a level. Next up would be vim. Vim edits a text file. Vim main.cc. Technically what we're using is called nvim, neovim. But vi also works. Also v works. These are all aliases. Alias v, alias vim, alias vmi. They're all aliased to nvim right now. Okay. So Vim, hopefully all of you guys know how to use Vim. Anyone here not know how to use Vim? In the previous class, every person actually knew how to use Vim, and that made me very happy. So what's the difference between nvim and Vim? The short answer is nothing. So if you know how to use Vim, you know how to use nvim. The slightly longer answer is you'll notice there's a little toolbar at the bottom there. The color schemes are a little different. The longer answer is they've completely rewritten Vim from scratch and made it easier to do things like write plugins for it, do things like a language server where you can have like IntelliSense immediate error messages without needing to compile the code to see it. Built right in. So under the hood, it's completely different. To a user of Vim, you might not ever notice a difference. All the commands are the same. So yeah. You don't see 99 bottles, probably because I just made you. Okay. So yeah, let me push out that to you guys. Sudo homework 41. 99 bottles. No clobber. Okay, so the people whose accounts they just remade, you have 99 bottles now. Okay, so right, let's take a look at 99 bottles. Okay, so you guys all know the song 99 bottles of non-alcoholic beer on the wall, 99 bottles of non-alcoholic beer. You guys familiar with that, like, annoying song that goes on for like 20 minutes if you try singing the whole thing? Familiar with it? You forgot it till now? You're welcome. You're welcome. So, yeah, so for this assignment, you are going to be writing a program that will generate verses of 99 bottles of non-alcoholic beer on the wall, because we are at a dry campus for some reason. Sounds like a contradiction to me, a dry college campus, but such is life. So we are going to be doing 99 bottles of non-alcoholic beer. And so basically, this is your kind of warm-up programming assignment. You have till Friday to finish it. It's worth only 5 points instead of 10. Don't last chance this. It's not worth it. Just get it done. It's a little tricky, but pretty much, if you know how to do a for loop and a if statement and things like that, you should be able to do it. If not, ask for help. It's all good. So the user's going to ask, the program is going to ask you how many verses you want. If you say one verse, you say 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, and you finish. You always start at 99. Okay? You always start at 99. This was something that a lot of students in the previous class got wrong. They're like, give me 4 verses. They thought it would go 4, 3, 2, 1. Starts at 99 every time. Okay? If the input's invalid or negative or over 100, you print bad input and quit. If the input is valid, you print that many verses of it. So if you get to the very bottom, then it says no more bottles of beer on the wall, no more bottles of beer. 1 bottle instead of bottles. There's a little bit of, you have special case 1, you have to special case 0, no more bottles of beer. Go to the store and buy some more 99 bottles of beer. This is the 0th case. Okay. So, yeah, if you want to see what it looks like when you run it, 99 bottles reference. How many verses? Oh, 3 verses. 99 bottles of beer, 98 bottles of beer, 97 bottles of beer. Done. Okay, so you edit a file using Vim. Okay. You compile a file using compile. Compile main.cc. Good to go. You run a program using a.out, or A for short. 0 verses, very easy. Okay. And then when you are ready to see if your code is going to pass all the tests, you type input tester. Okay. And I'll put a cheat sheet for this up on Discord. So cd, ls, vim, compile, a.out, and input tester are the 6 things you need to know for this class. Beyond that, take a Unix tutorial. If you guys don't know Unix, trust me, it is worth an hour or two of your life to go through the Unix tutorial I've posted onto Canvas and learn it. People who know Unix have a pay differential of $5,000. They make more money. They're more technically adept. They're able to do things that people that don't know Unix don't know how to do. They have a better family life. They grow facial hair. They have improved musculature and endurance. They can wake up in the middle of the night if somebody sneaks up on them. They're immune to toxins. Their skin hardens and becomes bulletproof. Learning Unix will change your life. Trust me. So, yeah, but the 6 commands I just gave you is all you need to know for this class. All right. I was actually going for the Space Marines, but yeah, you could say a Sigma male or something like that if you want. All right. The input tester is asking for my email. Use your school email. Yeah, use your school email. So I would like for you guys now to start working on 99 bottles. If you ever see this on the screen here, all test cases passed. You're done. You're good. 5 out of 5. Okay. So I'm going to hang out for the next 20 minutes or so. And Minkrelli will be here. And Hazelton, looks like I fixed the NVIM problem just by using the one in the Scale directory. So we're good there. Yeah. So go forth and code. If you guys want help, stream your screen. And I will hop in and look at what you're doing and offer you advice. So anyhow, welcome to CSCI 41. Everybody, round of applause. Get pumped up. It's going to be a great semester. We got a lot of cool things for you this semester. Brand new. So keep going.